Hi everyone, good to see everybody here. Before we start, I just want to point out RTD means ready to drink. We forget nobody knows what that means, so keep that in mind.
Well, everyone, thank you for being here. We're excited to close out the presentations for tonight. We know you've been sitting down for a while, so we'll promise to keep it light and fun, and we might even have some mezcal for you to taste later on. So my name is Jordan Dill.
My name is Mikel Noriega.
And we're here to talk to you about Elenita, America's first ready-to-drink mezcal cocktail in a can. But first, let's talk about mezcal, one of Mexico's oldest distilled spirits. Why is mezcal so special? First, it has to be produced and bottled within 9 states in Mexico, so it has origin denomination, similar to champagne. Second, it's a craft artisanal process that can take up to 15 days to produce, unlike tequila, which can be made in just 4 hours. That's why we call tequila the microwaved version of mezcal. And finally, the agaves that it's made from take from 7 up to 30 years to grow on a unique terroir, similar to wine. So let me ask you a question. Raise your hand if you can name a brand of mezcal. There you go. Very few people. And that's what we discovered a year ago when we started working on our BCO project. We started talking to our peers and we realized that people love mezcal. They're asking for it. It's blowing up. But nobody can name a single brand. And what we found is that they don't know how to approach it at the retail level. You have very low brand recognition, high price points. It's a craft process that it costs up to $30 just for the cheapest bottle, unlike vodka or tequila that you can buy a bottle for $10. And most importantly, people just don't know what to mix it with. It doesn't have that gin and tonic, the vodka soda, where you know what to do with it. People have no idea. And that's why 95% of mezcal consumption happens through complex cocktails in bars and restaurants. Through this process, we learned that tequila became tequila because of the margarita. But mezcal just doesn't have that. Well, now mezcal has Elenita, America's first ready-to-drink mezcal cocktail in a can. It's an approachable retail entry point to the category that people love at an accessible price, and best of all, it's ready to drink, ice cold, right out of the can. It uses artisanal mezcal made from 100% agave, natural juices and flavors, and carbonated water. The 2 flavors we're launching with are the light and refreshing cucumber lime basil. This one has no sugar and no carbs and is 6.5% alcohol by volume. You're gonna love sipping on this next to the pool. And the bold and refreshing pineapple jalapeno, which has 7% alcohol by volume and just 4 grams of sugar. So what does the market look like for something like this? While beer and wine, the 2 largest spirit categories, are either flat or decreasing year over year, we have RTDs increasing at 21% and mezcal increasing at 32%. And we're combining these 2 product categories into one to bring mezcal to the US consumer. Not only that, we got out there and we spoke to bartenders, liquor store owners, and restaurant managers, and we learned that people are asking for mezcal. They're ordering a Negroni with mezcal instead of gin, or a Moscow Mule with mezcal instead of vodka. So this is no longer a fleeting trend or just a niche product. And the market is big. RTDs alone are a $5 billion market, and like I said, growing at 21%. And we've identified a target market for our product of $540 million. This is based on other RTD categories that have similar taste profiles to what we're coming to market with. And the most exciting part is California is the largest RTD and the largest mezcal market in the US, making it the perfect spot to launch Elenita. So who are our competitors in the RTD space? First, there are the mezcal RTDs, which are only offered in Mexico right now. And through speaking and meeting with the founders of these brands in Mexico City, we learned that they're not launching in the US. And we learned why. These ones use unfamiliar flavors like hibiscus and tamarind, or have high sugar, artificial flavors, and artificial colors, which are not attractive to the US consumer. You have the spirit-based ones like Cutwater, Joya Spirits, and Monaco Cocktails, which use very generic cocktails like gin and tonic or vodka sodas, and don't really offer something unique and exciting. And the largest category are the malt-based ones like Truly, Spiked Seltzer, and White Claw. These use fermented sugarcane as their alcohol base, and they're very cheap to make and to purchase. We're positioning Elenita as unique in the sense that it uses artisanal premium mezcal and high quality in the sense that we use natural ingredients and juices. So what's our competitive advantage? The alcohol space is competitive and there are a lot of players. We're the first mezcal RTD in the US. We're not just another beer or wine that's going to compete for shelf space at the retailer or mind share with the consumer. People are excited about Elenita because they've never heard of a mezcal RTD. Second, we're coming to market with an authentic brand and authentic product. We use artisanal mezcal distilled in Oaxaca and put it into an RTD format that people like. And finally, we have an exclusive supply chain partnership with Brujo Mezcal, one of Mexico's top mezcal producers. This aligns us with one of the top mezcal management teams in the industry and de-risks our supply chain, positioning us for growth.
Thank you, Jordan. So you've already met our CEO, the charismatic Jordan Dill. He has extensive experience in sales and strategy, but he also has experience in food and agriculture, and he just recently got awarded the Art Anderson YPO Fellowship. I'll be serving as your CFO and COO for Elenita. I have experience in retail through Amazon Go. I also have experience in operations through industrial engineering and in investment banking and venture capital. Most importantly and most exciting, the both of us just won $50,000 last week at NAP competition. And now with our superstar advisors like Alejandro Arevalo, who's the CEO of Brujo, we're gonna set up our entire supply chain down in Mexico. And then with Dinah Trout, who's the founder and CEO of Feltate Kombucha, she's helping us and showing us how to grow a prototype to a brand and a beverage company that sells more than $100 million a year. And finally, we have Alexis Beechin. She was the founder over 4 years ago of the first canned wine. And because of that, she's helping us on how to approach retailers and distributors, which is key for Elenita. So how's our supply chain gonna work? It's quite simple. Brujo is gonna provide the mezcal from Oaxaca to our co-packer in Guadalajara. There, all the ingredients are gonna be centered. Then Park Street, our distributor, is gonna grab the product and bring it to LA to their warehouse, where they will distribute to the retailers and make Elenita available to the end consumer. So we already have our distribution locked down through Park Street, and they will help us get the initial retailers, which is key to gain traction. We're gonna be targeting on-premise retailers that are strategic, like Tocaya, who we're already in conversations with. But most importantly for volume for Elenita, we're gonna be targeting single location grocery stores and liquor stores that will help prove the traction for a product such as ours. Then, when we have proven that traction, we will graduate to a larger distributor who will then help us position ourselves in important chains like Whole Foods and Gelson's, and also with on-premise strategic retailers like Tao Group, and have Elenita at all their pool parties. So what are our key milestones to launch, right? So we have the final recipe, we have the final design and packaging, and we are starting to do all the marketing work. We have prototypes in LA next week, but yes, we do have some samples for you to try tonight. So get excited about that. We're launching at the end of June, and we plan to be in 10 retailers by then. So what do our financials look like, right? The most important part here is we're targeting to prove traction with about $180,000 in sales. That's positioning ourselves in 100 retailers and selling around 60,000 cans. With that, we're projecting to stabilize at a gross margin of 36%. That's healthy enough to invest heavily, both in marketing and sales. Planning to become profitable by 2021, and the biggest challenge of all, which we think is actually achievable, is getting those $43 million in sales by year 5. How will we achieve that? By the $1 million that we're raising right now. We're halfway through our capital raise round with soft commitments for $500,000, but we're looking to fill out that round from you. So get excited about that as well. With that, we will position Elenita in 100 retailers and eventually graduate to a larger distributor and bring America's first ready-to-drink mezcal cocktail. Thank you.